Hi again folks, here we are again. This is a Hornby Coronation Class Queen Mary that was sent to me by Jacob along with the M7 in my last video there. He says that the motor seems to work when you apply power to the tender directly, but the locomotive itself is not running. So let's turn on the power, see if anything happens. Nothing. Nope, no signs of life at all. Oh, we've got a bit of a wheel lock on the locomotive. So no signs of life there, wheels locking up. Let's get this into the shed and see if we can sort it out. Righty-ho then, Coronation Class locomotive. It's my first look at one of these. Not my favourite locomotive, I have to admit. There's just something about them I'm not keen on. I don't know what it is, I just don't like the shape of these locomotives. But nevertheless, I love the livery of this. The blue and silver is really quite, yeah, I like that. So, okay. So, Jacob says that this motor does work. It's a Ringfield motor. I'm sure that won't be too much of an issue, fingers crossed. But this concerns me a bit. Are these wheels locking up? Well, they're not locking completely, but they seem to have a stiff point. Something's catching, rubbing, or something's gunked up. Yeah, there's a lot of fluff and stuff in there, so I think we're going to have a bit of a clean out in there. So what we'll look at first, I suppose we'll have a look in the tender. We've got a very stripped out screw there. I've not seen a screw there before. Oh dear, it's very stripped. Need to see if I've got another one. That's not going to work. Let's try a bigger screwdriver. Yeah, that's got it. And we'll see if we've got something else. Now, that just comes off. That all looks okay. Let's just try a battery on this. So yeah, it does go. It sounds absolutely fine. Let's have a look at this. Got a screw at the back here. Undo that. Notice the buffers are missing as well on the front. We'll stick a couple on. Big long screw. Now it comes out. Right, let's just put this on the track. So it's locking there and there. Quartering looks okay. Seems to be quite a bit of play in the wheels. You can see that middle wheel lifts. Oh dear. Right, we'll take the bogies off. Yeah, that wasn't right. The spring was down the side. I don't think that's how it's meant to be. I would have thought it was meant to be like that. Okay, we'll see if we can get this underframe off. 2 screws. Right, it looks like the underframe's clipped on. Let's pull out the pickups if we can. Why isn't this one coming out? There we go. Let's unplug that. Get it out the road. That's it coming at that end. There we go. For goodness sake, Hornby. Okay, I think I'll have to disconnect the linkages here, just to isolate the wheels from the valve gear, and then I can determine if the problem is, the linkage between the wheels, or if there's something in the valve gear that's causing the issue. So I'll do that. That off. We can disconnect that, and we should have spacer there. Right, so with the valve gear all disengaged, these rods just sitting on loosely, yeah, I think the wheels are actually okay. I think the problem is somewhere in the valve gear. However, we'll take them all out and we'll give everything a clean up. There is broken plastic on this shaft here. So something's broken in there, and all that broken plastic is catching. Gosh, is it something as simple as that? Right, I'll clean this up and put it back together and see if that's what the problem was, because there was definitely some little bits of broken plastic just where this rod goes into the cylinders there. It seems to be freer now, and it was jamming the rod up. Of course, there's still the problem of why this wasn't showing any life on the track. One thing at a time. So we'll put this back together and see if the wheels run freely, and then we'll look into why the motor wasn't running when it was connected to the tender. That's going to go on there, which means pickups are on that side, which means I'm just going to go back and check my footage when this was sitting on the layout, because I think I wonder. Let me just check the footage. So checking the footage there of the model on the layout, I could see that the insulated wheels were on this side. They should be on this side. The middle wheel is insulated on both sides, so that doesn't matter. That can go either way round. Just pop this in, right, like that. So with these wheels, you've got an insulating bush on one side. So this wheel is insulated from the track. Now normally, that's the wheel that the pickup would touch, and then current would be passed through the pickup to the motor, and from the other track directly through the wheel into the axle to the chassis to the other brush of the motor. But this is only going to pass current to one brush, so it can only pick up current through one side. But the way it was with the pickups on the insulated side is picking up current through these wheels, but it's also going to pick up the current from the other track. So that's a short circuit. So you want the insulated wheels to be on this side to prevent the short circuit. The locomotive would probably work without the pickups. The pickups are kind of there just as a sort of insurance policy. Come on, in you get. There we go. Maybe I've got that the wrong way around. See, I made the same mistake. It should be that way around. That's it. There we go. That's how it should be. Right, we'll get this underframe back on. Like so. And then we'll get the rods on. It's so easy to get things the wrong way around. Right, okay. Goes on there. That little bush goes on there. That'll then go in there like that. Okay, that's that side done. Do the other side now. Although it's moving freely now, I still don't like it. This middle wheel seems to be jumping about. Let's put the this pony truck on and see if this actually works. Right. Does this go? Yes, it does. There you go. So the problem was there was little bits of plastic that were blocking the valve gear in there, and the wheels were on the wrong way around, which was causing a short circuit. So that's why the tender would go on its own, but as soon as you connect it up to the locomotive, it was shorting. I still don't like the movement of these wheels. There's something, see, it's still locking occasionally. So I'm going to look more into that. But I think what I'll do is we'll give the motor a service. I'm probably not going to video this because you've seen me do a ring-field motor a gazillion times. So I think I'll just crack on with this and we'll have another look at the locomotive and see if we can see what's causing that hiccup on that middle wheel. I'll quickly just dismantle this just to make sure there's nothing weird going on inside. But if it all looks okay, I'll just do all the usual business on it, clean it, lubricate it, file the gears, put it back together, etc, etc. Which sort is this? This is a screw-in type, but the screw's been painted over. Why would you do that? Look at that. How strange. Okay, so motor all serviced, put that together. Runs fine. So let's have another look at this locomotive because there's something not quite right with it. Right, sometimes if you look directly down, you can see something catching something. Alright, yep. Straight away, funny I didn't spot that before. This linkage here is a little bit bent in and it's causing this to rub against this rod. This little joint here is rubbing against that rod. Give that a little bit of a bend that way. Now let's see. That's better. Gosh. The middle wheels still don't rotate very smoothly, but that's much better. Right, okay. Let's just connect this up. That seems fine. So we'll get a bit of oil on all the linkages. You've got to do that if you've had it all apart. Right, what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to go quickly run it on the layout to see if it's lumpy at all. You know, there could still be an issue with current passing between the locomotive and the tender, so I'll give it a couple of laps around the layout and see if it runs okay. And the good news is it seems to run fine. Right, oh, we've got a hook missing on the on this coupling. We could replace that, couldn't we? Just before we put it back together, let's do that. We're going to find some buffers as well. That's no good, that's no good. We've got one of those. That fit on there, yep, there we go. We'll fit this coupling on. Righto. Right, so that goes on there like that. Oh yeah, there was a very stripped screw, wasn't there? Right, let's see what we've got. That looks possible. That's also stripped. Don't seem to have a screw exactly the same. I wonder if one of these would fit. It's a much smaller screw though. Yeah, there we go. That's better. Right, okay, tender sorted. Before we fit this on, let's see if we've got a couple of buffers that'll go in there. Buffers. Right, a couple of oval buffers. Just push in. There's an old buffer in there, broken. Dear oh dear, I'll have to drill that out. There we go. It's got the old one out. And we can shove the new one in. There we go, new buffers. And now we can plug that on there. Rest in there like that. Right, get this screw in the back. And then, I almost forgot, the front bogie. Put that on there. Okay, we're done. Let's go and pull this out of the shed and see how it goes round the layout. Okay then, out she comes. So there we are, that's this Hornby Coronation Class Queen Mary running fine now. So yeah, two issues there. The main one being that the wheels were on the wrong way round, which was causing a short circuit, that's why it wouldn't run. And also there's a couple of bent rods in the valve here and some little bits of broken plastic were fouling the movement. But that's all sorted and it runs fine now, and it's actually a very nice runner. I had to take the connecting rods off again and swap them over, as I don't know if anyone spotted, but I had them on back to front, but I spotted it, sorted it. The Ringfield block is in good condition and runs really nicely, so yeah, overall this is a really nice model and a nice runner. I'm personally still not sure about the Art Deco style streamlined design of this locomotive, but you know, it could grow on me, and I do like the livery, you know, I do like a blue locomotive. Anyway, right, I'm going to get this packed up and sent back to Jacob along with his M7, and we'll see what's next. Okay folks, catch you later.